What's up guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. Wanted to bring you this video today to discuss one of my favourite transfers that has come to Arsenal. One of my favourite players that has joined Arsenal Football Club. A player that, I'm not actually going to give away too much about him because I don't want to spoil it too early on, but I think it's fair to say that there's quite a lot to choose from. In the past 5-6 years, Arsenal have signed the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Alexis Sanchez. There's so many players that have come to Arsenal Football Club that have made a big impact, a big statement that I think we've all been really, really pleased with. Notably, Aubameyang has been an absolutely stellar signing. He's a player that I never ever thought we'd get. But he's not the player that I want to talk about. The player that really sticks in my mind is Mesut Ozil. And I know he's a player that has divided so much opinion in his time at Arsenal. But for me, at that time when he came to the club in 2013, it was such a statement signing. It was so unbelievably exciting. I think I just turned, in fact, yeah, I don't think, I know I just turned 17 years old at the time. We'd had a dreadful start to the season. We'd brought nobody in apart from Yaya Sanogo and Matthew Flamini. We'd just lost 3-1 at home to Aston Villa. And then we go and beat Tottenham 1-0 in the North London derby, followed by the acquisition of Mesut Ozil. And there were so many reasons why this transfer didn't make sense. First of all, where have we got 42.5 million quid from? We're a club that notoriously don't spend an awful lot of money. We're very, very tight, very budget friendly when it comes to transfers. So this transfer didn't make an awful lot of sense, and it was really hard to believe when it was in its early stages. But it was only when it started to gather pace and it became a bit more real that I started to believe it was actually becoming true. But again, I didn't understand why Real Madrid was selling this guy. He was absolutely phenomenal for them at the time. He made Cristiano Ronaldo a better player than what he currently was at that time, which tells you everything you need to know about the quality that Mesut Ozil had at that period in his career. And he was just a phenomenal signing that came to Arsenal. When he had that first press conference and he came in and said, "I'm a gunner," it was just, I mean, again, it was just so strange to see this guy come to Arsenal because we didn't make big signings at that point. We'd made a couple of biggish name signings in the past. We brought in Andrei Arshavin from Zenit St. Petersburg a couple of seasons before, but apart from that, we'd been very shrewd with our transfers. I think the summer before when we brought in the likes of Santi Cazorla, Lucas Podolski and Olivier Giroud, these were very solid signings. They were signings that were going to progress the club, but they weren't that big name. They weren't that statement signing that the likes of United, City, Real Madrid even, those sort of clubs were making. So it was a real amazement that Mesut Ozil was coming to Arsenal. And with Gareth Bale going to Real Madrid, Spurs definitely did us a favour there. And I think, looking back, I don't know if Real Madrid will be particularly happy with how things worked out, selling Mesut Ozil, acquiring Bale. I think if they'd have kept Mesut Ozil, he could have performed into even a better player than we currently know him as today. He could have had more of a legacy at Real Madrid. Thankfully, it didn't work out that way, and he came to Arsenal. And I think you've got to be honest. He's had a mixed career at Arsenal. He's had some exceptional seasons. 2015-16 was unbelievable. His first season as well, I thought he was fantastic. He's also had some very inconsistent seasons, some very poor performances, and there are certain aspects of his game that you can't help but think maybe he's not quite suited to the English style of football. But I think what he has proven in his Arsenal career is that he's a player that's willing to adapt. If you've seen him in his past couple of seasons, he's working a lot harder, and it's obvious that he's got that technical ability. Some of his passes, his eye for a pass is fantastic. And the one thing I would say that frustrates me most of Mesut Ozil is how unselfish he is. I think there have been opportunities where he's got into great goal-scoring positions and he's passed it when he didn't really need to. But apart from that, I find it very hard to criticise the guy. He's been at Arsenal for 7 years now. So we know that his best days are behind him, but you've only got to look at how he improved the likes of Olivier Giroud. Giroud owes half of his goals to Mesut Ozil. Alexis Sanchez owes an awful lot of his goals to Mesut Ozil. He's improved these players. He's improved the team around him. And even if he is coming into his 30s now, I do still believe there is a place for him in this Arsenal team. And it's no secret that we've got to start looking for a replacement. As a player gets into their early 30s, we all know that they need to be replaced at some point, and we have to be shrewd in the way we go about doing that. But he's a player that I think has got at least one more season at the club, can offer something in that time. And for me, just the way he came into the team, for a club that was so notorious about the way they develop players and was so reluctant to spend big money, it was a statement signing. And since then, we've gone on to sign Alexis Sanchez, Petr Cech, even if you want to count on him, whatever way you look at the way that worked out, maybe not the best names to mention there, but Aubameyang, Lacazette. I mean, the players we've brought in since the acquisition of Mesut Ozil, I do think we've turned a corner. And even though there's an awful lot of criticism and valid criticism to be made towards the likes of Stan Kroenke for the lack of money we have spent, since the shackles have sort of come off, we're in a position now where we can buy these players, and it's a fantastic place to be when we have got that money. And it's great to know we have got that money. But to back that up, we need to get Champions League football as soon as possible. But who knows when that'll be, because it feels like we're so far away from Premier League football returning. And I hate to say that, but I just can't see a way in which football can be played out in the next couple of months. We're in such a unique situation, one I've certainly never experienced in my lifetime, that I'm sure you guys have never experienced in your lifetime. Just to be on lockdown, to have no football, no entertainment, no going outside. It's just absolutely crazy what's going on. But hopefully the Premier League can find a way for the season to resume. But I think that's an awful lot of months away, unfortunately. And I do think it's going to be difficult to work out how this is going to impact next season. There's just so many big decisions to be made. And to those people high up that have got to make those decisions, they've got my deepest sympathy. I just hope they get it right, because it is such a monumental decision to make. And there's no point risking more lives when you're just playing football, really, is there? I mean, you've got to look at the bigger picture. Health is the most important thing, and if that results in this season and possibly part of next season being cancelled, then so be it. But I think the vast majority of people, myself included, want to see this season played out, but it's just working out a way in which that can be done. But anyway, this video was centred around my favourite transfer that came to Arsenal. Please do let me know yours in the comments box below. Please do leave a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, I will speak to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.